Okay, Bob, it's another episode of Let's Chat Sales. We are cranking away at these things, right?
We are. I feel like we're just warming up. I mean, we've got the
Yeah.
list a mile long of topics.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do the Let's Chat Sales Marathon and just go 24 hours straight, back to back to back.
Who doesn't want to listen to us for 24 straight hours? I can't imagine.
I think that would be a lot of fun. So we're talking about thank you today, right?
Yes. Let's talk about thank yous and how important they are. And it is a sales technique, a sales fundamental that I just think people aren't taking advantage of.
Can I go a step further, Brendan? I don't think it's a sales fundamental. I think it's a human being fundamental.
Oh, really? Is that where
I think it goes deeper. I really think being able to say thank you to people is like a life skill we all have to apply.
It's the podcast is called Let's Chat Sales, not Let's Chat Humanity. Okay, I mean all right. So let's
chat humanity. See, it works.
Stick to the genre, will you? All right.
Okay. So thank yous are critical to sales.
We got Siri, find me a new sidekick. Let's see what Siri is.
Siri probably can do a better job.
All right. So
what would you like to talk about, Brendan?
We'll talk about thank yous and the value of thank yous in a sales situation.
Okay.
In life too, of course. Right. Right.
Yeah.
So what do you want to mean by thank yous? Is that where you're going with this?
Well, I was going to say, I think there is a definition that needs to be had of what a thank you is and when it's appropriate to give a thank you.
Okay. All right. Far away.
So I think when someone does something to help you or your business or your process, then you thank them. So I had lunch with someone today, and I thanked him because he's been a really good client to this company I work with for the last 2 years. He's been through some real crap that we put him through, and he's stuck with us. That was a genuine thank you. Shake his hand. I really value you. Thank you so much for trusting in us. I could see him light up. That he was like, oh, wow, he values me. He gets that I've been through the grinder with him a couple times. I think that really instills something in that business relationship.
I totally get it. I don't think people do it enough. I find it to be a really powerful gesture. And because not enough people do it or do it effectively, it really is powerful. It really can make a huge difference in building trust and building a relationship and that sort of thing.
And I send thank you notes.
Yeah, I do too. Written ones.
And I'm amazed at how many of those are on someone's office wall 6 months later. It's a lost art.
A variation on that theme is in the social media internet world is you can do a kind of a public thank you to someone. I happen to be a big fan of podcasts, not just this one, although this is one of my favorites.
It's good. I'm glad.
But like the other day, Noah Kagan had a really good podcast with a guy, Nick Gray. And it was about having a 2-hour cocktail party in his book. And the podcast was really good. It was just really actionable and specific, and it was entertaining, and it was concise. It had a lot of things going for it. A lot of things that maybe this podcast lacks from time to time. I thanked him through social media. On Twitter, I just said, hey, Nick, Noah, really love this. It was great. And I said much of the same stuff. And that sort of started a little dialogue. So the point is, there are little ways that you can recognize people, right? And the thank you is good when I thank you or when I thank an individual. But it's better if somehow or another it's public. Like it's in front of other people, right? It recognizes them. It recognizes their generosity. It recognizes the fact that others recognize that Bob, he went out of his way to thank him. And so the benefit does come back to you.
Yes. I also think there's a quality of thanking a person when they're inconveniencing their family.
Yeah.
So years ago, I had some people that had to work a weekend project, and it was just the way it worked out. They had to work the weekend. I sent them all thank you cards to their houses. Yeah. And 3 of the 6 said, it was so great that you sent it to my house because my spouse asked what this was. And I was able to explain to them and show them that you really appreciated my hard work. That ability to be able to share with someone, hey, I made a difference here, because we tend not to be able to do that much.
That's a good one. Another ingredient is if it's not expected. right? If somehow or other you
Yes.
thank them and it catches a little bit off guard. I've sent gifts, small gifts to customers and to people that have referred me and so forth. And typically I try and send it out of the blue. Hey, with a note, and I thought you'd enjoy this. I send food oftentimes. I have a buddy who's
Gave me a lovely handmade muddler.
a muddler. I made it. Yes.
You made that, but it was a great gift, and I've had a number of people ask me about it.
That's right.
And I'm able to tell the story about how I've become a sidekick thanks to all this.
That's right. It's amazing how these things interconnect. We live in this small little interconnected world. So I think those things, especially, they come as a bit of a surprise. Well, you didn't need to do that, and those sorts of things, they have heft, they have meaning,
and they deepen the relationship.
That's right, and it's really all about relationships. Really, this whole thing is about relationships at the end, right? So that's where I think if there's something I would tell people, it's that have cards and envelopes, have stamps, right? So you can drop something in the mail.
Buy them now because the price is going up shortly.
What was it again? I did not know.
Yeah, I think it's going up to 60 cents from 58.
You know what? Still a freaking bargain.
Oh, especially if you send it from the East Coast to the West Coast, you're making money. If you're sending it down the street,
still making money, because what's your time worth if you have to carry it down there? 60 cents, you can send something across the country and it gets there in 2 or 3 days. That is a modern miracle. The fact that people pick on the post office, we're going off on rants to these last couple of episodes. Have been,
we?
Yeah, well, me mostly. And by the way, but before we do, I do want to leave you with one important takeaway. And this may be the most important thing that we can say in the course of this podcast. And that is, don't watch The Gray Man on Netflix. It's awful. And right there. So you listen to this podcast for 10 minutes, right? But I saved you 2 hours just now. Nothing I say on this podcast, or Bob for that matter, will be as valuable as not watching The Gray Man.
I agree with you 100%. It was awful.
That's going to be our new takeaway. All right.
Well, Bob, I'm looking at my beard and thinking I could be the Gray Man.
You are looking. You're looking hirsute. So, all right. I will. Let's sign off. Yeah, I know. I've got big vocabulary.
Wow.
Now it's 11.
See, Brendan, can we do this again sometime?
No, we cannot. We're done. That's it. All right. I'll see you.
All right. Last one. Been fun.
Hi, and you've just watched another episode of Let's Chat Sales with Bob and myself. I hope you found it useful, and please feel free to share it with whomever you think might benefit from it, and give it a thumbs up if you like. In the meantime, you can also check out this episode right here. This is a good one, I think. This is a really good one. Yeah, use this one.